Good morning, everyone, and welcome to Nervous Nessie. I am still in Dodge City at the moment. It is, let me see, about 10, a little after 10 right now. I ended up going to bed a little bit later than I had initially intended last night. I actually went to sleep like at 1:30 in the morning, which is kind of rare for me, especially when I travel. But I slept in a little bit today. I have already, I shot my video of the walkthrough of the Airbnb, which I will release soon. And then, of course, I'm shooting the video now. I am already packed and ready to go. Since I got a later start than I had originally intended, I wanted to get up like at 7 and I didn't. Since I'm getting a later start, I'm pretty much basically going to skip breakfast, which I don't like to do when I'm traveling, because you need a lot of energy and, to walk around, and breakfast is a great way to get all that energy. But I am going to take my little small backpack, my, is it Adidas backpack, and explore Dodge City. And then I am going to come back to the Airbnb before 4 o'clock and pick up my luggage here. And then I will go back to where the tourist area is at. So I'm gonna go to the tourist area, check all the different stuff out, come back, get my luggage, go back to the tourist area, and then go to the gunslinging Wild West show at 6 o'clock. From there, I'll probably grab dinner and then head on to the Amtrak station. So yeah, I didn't get up and get breakfast, but at least I got some stuff done before heading out, and I should have plenty of time. I mean, it's 10 now, got to be back here at 4, so 6 hours to explore Dodge City. I should be good. And that's not including the Wild West show area. So I should be good on all of that. And yeah, it's going to be a very long day. Very, very long day. But it is only day 2 of this Wizard of Oz trip, and I am having a lot of fun so far. So let's go and explore Dodge City. So I am in the downtown Dodge City area, and there is so much to see here, a lot of history. Even if you're not a history person or you don't like Westerns, it's still a cool area to come to. You've heard the phrase, you can't be in 2 places at the same time. But did you know that you can be in 1 place at 2 times? That's right. I am sitting right here at this marker, which signifies where Central Time and Mountain Time actually meet. This is the line where they meet. There's the marker here, and then to this side of me is the Mountain Time sundial, and I'll show you that here in a second. And then to the left of me is the Central Time sundial. Now, I'm gonna have to get up here. Now, when you come here, the mountain dials or mountain and central dials, they're huge, and you are going to have to either stand on the bench here and or use a telescopic lens to get a picture so you can properly read the dials themselves. I do have my selfie stick for my GoPro, and I have taken video of that, which I will put into a picture, and I will show that here in a second. But I'm going to swing the camera around here and show you. So this is the central dial, and then you walk down this way, and here is the marker for the actual line, the Central Mountain Time line. And then this is the Mountain Time sundial. And all of this is right here at the Dodge City train station. They do have a theater in the train station. It's closed right now, but they do have a theater in there, and I think they may have a museum in there as well. But yeah, we're right here at the train station. This is where Amtrak is going to leave out for my train later tonight. But I am going to walk through the downtown area and show you all the cool things, or at least what I can find of the cool things in this downtown area. I did take a picture of the dials, but you couldn't really tell what they said. So instead, I just used my selfie stick and took videos of the dials. That way you can see it a whole lot better. I am on the main street here, Wyatt Earp. Behind me here is the Santa Fe Depot, which is where Amtrak is at, the theater, and then to the other side is the sundials, where Mountain and Central Time meet. But across from it is Wyatt Earp. This is Wyatt Earp's statue right here, which is pretty cool. And then we're going to walk through the downtown area. This downtown area has a lot of historical signs that you can stop and read. It's very walkable. However, some of the roads, because they're a little bit, or some of the sidewalks, because they're a little bit older, you might have a little difficulty if, let's say, you're in a wheelchair. But for the most part, this downtown area is very walkable. As you can see, I am going in front of these stores, and it is shaded overhead, which is nice, because today the sun is out. Right now it's in the high 70s, but there is a bit of a breeze, so it's not that hot even when you're in the direct sun. But you do want to make sure you bring sunscreen. It's always a good idea to have sunscreen whenever you travel. That way you don't end up with weird burn marks and tan lines. So you have this little block here that has a few little stores. And then we are going to go down this next block, and instead of you looking at me, I'm going to swing the camera around so you can see what the next block looks like as soon as I get through this intersection. Now, if you can see the ground here, it does have these cobblestones, so again, it could be kind of difficult if you were in a wheelchair, or if you're not paying attention, you could trip over them. So I'm gonna swing this camera here and show you we have another block that has the covered awning, and it kind of makes you feel like you're going under a railroad, which is kind of cool. The blocks here are very small. They're not like your big city blocks. In most big cities, for a square block, it's significantly larger than this. So when you look on the map, if you see one block, it's not as bad as you would think. At the end of this next block is the cattle statue, which we will go over to. Little history here. So back in the Wild West days, Dodge City ended up being the only city in Kansas that they could do the cattle drives to. They forced everybody to go to Dodge City, and so it became a cattle drive town and ended up being a boom town with all of the saloons and brothels that you would find. This is El Capitan, but yeah, in the 1800s the cattle drives came through. Since the state of Kansas forced it to come into Dodge City, Dodge City became a boom town. Now, as time went on, the state of Kansas decided, okay, we're gonna let other cities have the cattle drives. And when that happened, a lot of the business kind of left Dodge City and dispersed across the state. But Dodge City was still booming enough to where the town stayed thriving. A lot of little shops here, an assortment of shops in this downtown area. It's very quiet. Right now I believe it's about 11:30, so it's pretty quiet. I have passed a lot of tourists down through here, but yeah, and it's really safe. Like right now there is not a car driving in sight to where I can easily cross the road. I'm gonna walk up here, kind of get this mural, which is pretty cool. I feel like cities should do this more, to just make the cities look better. Just make a nice big mural on the sides of these buildings. Sorry, I had to grab a picture of that. On the sides of the buildings, just to make it look nicer. And then there's another one right over there. Now, the streets here, I love the names of the streets. This is Gunsmoke Street. Now, for all of you millennials, you have not one single clue what Gunsmoke is, most likely. Even some of the Gen X or the, what is the older, my age, don't know what Gunsmoke is, but Gunsmoke was a Wild West TV show that I believe was in the 60s, and it was a very famous show. And that show, Gunsmoke, was actually filmed here on this street, this area, which is pretty cool. So if you are a TV buff, then you would want to come out here and check out Gunsmoke Street. And it looks like this might be like one of the scenes from the show. The main characters, you had like Matt Dillon, which we will get to here in a moment, because there is a Matt Dillon statue here of the actor who played Matt Dillon. I know I watched a little bit of it growing up as a child because my dad and granddad loved the show. But yeah, so we're gonna keep walking through here. A lot of different food options in this downtown area. A good mix of shops. It's kind of an eclectic mix of shops down through here. Looks like they are doing something right here, making a pavilion or something right here, which would be nice because it would help bring this whole little area together, because this area we're coming up on is the main tourist attraction here in Dodge City. This Bella Italia restaurant, I did do research and it had good reviews. I have not ate there, but if you wanted some Italian food, I did do the research on it and it had good reviews, so that would be a good option if you're in the downtown area and want some Italian. So we are gonna hopefully not get hit by a car. So this area is the main attraction. And there's a lot of little components to it. I'm gonna go through all of them here. We start first, this is visitor information. They're actually closed at the moment. However, when you come over here, if you want to get some more information on your own, then they do have these little brochures that you can pick up. There's some music playing. So this is the Matt Dillon statue from the TV show Gunsmoke. Pretty cool. And there are these markers that tell you which way to go for the different things. They do have a water park here that I actually passed on the way down here earlier this morning. Now, they don't necessarily have public transit. They also don't have Lyft and Uber here. They do have a taxi, and they do have this Dodge City trolley that does hop on, hop off tours of Dodge City. You would have to pay for that. I prefer walking, but from the Matt Dillon statue, we're gonna come around here, and you have Doc Holliday. And of course you can sit in any one of the seats and take pictures, which I did. Unfortunately, this huge RV is right there, so you're gonna get that in the background right now. But so this is the Boot Hill Museum. The museum is right there, and then if you can see, there's like a little, looks like old West buildings back in there. This is where they do the gunslinger, the gunfight, and it's like a show. And that happens, I think it's either 6 or 6:30. I'm gonna have to find out. But you can go into the museum, check that out, and then go walk down the street, the Wild West street. You also have this old steam locomotive. And you can walk up in here, which is pretty cool, and get to see the inside of this steam locomotive, which is kind of cool. You do have the seats here and a seat here as well, so you could sit here and have your friends be outside the train and take a picture of you inside the train as if you are conducting the train. And then this right here, this big sign, Boot Hill, is the entrance into this whole little complex. So I'm gonna walk across here, kind of get a little closer so you can see they have the general store, and what else is that long, what is that long something, whole little town inside there. So I'm gonna go inside and see about getting tickets to this museum and shoot inside. So I went inside the museum and I talked to the girl there, about the museum, the way all of it works. So the tickets for the museum and the little town, which is part of the museum, is $16 for adults. I asked her about the gunslinger show or the gunfight or whatever, and she said that the show does not happen during the winter season, which it is right now, which is weird because I'm wearing a tank top and it's hot. But yeah, during the winter season they don't do the show. Really disappointed because I wanted to see that really bad. But I guess on the bright side, because I'm already here, I can just go ahead and see the museum instead of having to come back later tonight. Now, like I said, it's about 11 o'clock? No, almost 12. So I'm kind of hungry, and I think I am going, well, I've got to finish my coffee. By the way, I got coffee at Red Beard Coffee. Very good coffee, good price for coffee, and very good staff there. I'm gonna finish my coffee, and then I am going to eat some lunch. Not quite sure. I think there's a restaurant that I did research on kind of on the other side of this train. So I'll probably eat lunch over there, come back over here to the museum and check that out. So I'm going to finish the coffee and grab lunch, and then we'll look at the museum.